listeners and readers of AwardsWatch.com. This is the AwardsWatch Podcast, brought to you by AwardsWatch.com. I can't say that enough. AwardsWatch.com, AwardsWatch.com. I'm your executive editor, Ryan McQuade. Joining me is the editor-in-chief, Erik Anderson.
That was like the Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs or Marc
Yes.
Jacobs opening. I loved it.
New and improved Erik Anderson here today.
Oh, you don't
even know, listeners. You don't even know what
they'll know by this.
They'll know. Yeah, they will.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you'll see it. Dan Bayer.
Hello.
Josh Parham.
Hello.
And Kevin Lee.
Hey.
There's no ladies here today, or Tyler.
Womp womp.
Nicole
Don't
was supposed.
Assume anyone's gender, Ryan. That's absolutely not very 2022.
Oh, shut up. Sophia is with her family in Ohio right now, and Nicole just couldn't get back here in time. And Tyler's busy doing other things, probably getting ready for a hellacious week of Emmy nominations and reactions and all that stuff that's about to happen. So
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. We've
tomorrow.
we did a prediction episode that went out last week. So if you want to go listen to that episode, it's already out. All the Emmy predictions and stuff, because at the time of recording, it's 2 days away, but the day that this is releasing, it'll be a day away before the nominations, which they're actually like doing them at like a decent time in the morning, Erik. They're like doing them in like
8:30 Pacific, like when humans are awake.
See, that's what I love.
Cats.
I love that about the Oscars, having it at 5:30 in the morning for you guys out there on the West Coast. It's like getting a real time zone, and then you can wake up at a decent hour. You know what I'm saying?
Choke.
We're going to talk about Thor, Love and Thunder a little bit today. We're going to do some listener questions. We're going to play a new game that none of these gentlemen know about today. But first, I did something yesterday that I wanted to share with y'all on the podcast here and everyone out there, is that I went to a local art house theater, or big theater. It's not even an art house theater. It's just a theater in general in Austin. And I saw The Godfather in 70 millimeter on the big screen. First time I ever seen it on the big screen. And, obviously with James Caan passing away, it even had more significance, but it's the 50th anniversary. And I just got to tell you, 70 millimeter with a pretty packed crowd. It was great. And I took my dad and I took my wife, and we just sat there and we had such a great time. And what was even cool about it was, I think the girl in front of us, who was with her boyfriend, had never seen the film before. And so there were moments in the film you could see her audibly just gasp or react, because like that movie does that. And it was just a really cool experience. And so I wanted to kind of go around here. And Erik, we'll go last with you, since you saw the beginning of cinema and everything. I wanted to go around here and ask, like, do you guys partake in like going to see like restored classics on the big screen? And do you guys have like a memorable moment of some? I know, Dan, you do it all the time. In New York. So do you have like some that you particularly have seen recently, or, within like the last couple of years, that were memorable experiences for you guys?
Do I have any that were particularly memorable? I do remember going a couple years ago to see New York at Lincoln Center, and seeing that and going like, well, why did no one bring this up when La La Land came out? Like, this is obviously La La Land is obviously just a remake of New York, straight up. Mm-hmm. And that was a really fun one to see with the crowd. The other one that was probably one of my favorites to see with a crowd was last year, I think. Last year, the year before, at Metrograph, which is downtown in New York, I saw Possession, Andrei Zulawski, which one of my favorite films ever, and I saw that with my good friend and editor, Mr. Matt Neglia from Next Best Picture, and he had never seen it before. And watching everyone in that theater's reaction to everything that happens in that movie was so much fun. And it was a packed house. I think it was not a one night only thing, I don't think, but it was only like a couple of screenings, so people really wanted to be there, and just the vibe in that theater was so incredible. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's very weird.
Yep.
Very crazy. Isabella Gianni having a full-on nervous breakdown, screaming hissy fit in the Paris metro, and just iconic in every possible way. And experiencing that with a crowd was a lot of fun.
Josh, do you partake in them? I know you guys have like the Music Box Theater down there in Chicago, or up there in Chicago, I guess you could say. And so it does a lot of that. Have you had like an experience of seeing like some classic cinema over there at that wonderful theater that I hear about all the time?
Yeah, there's actually that theater, and there's another one called the Gene Siskel that's a little bit more in like central downtown Chicago. And I've been to both of them, and yeah, I love going to screenings of older films, particularly if they're shown on 35 millimeter, because I just sort of feel like if you're going to show an older film,
you got to see it that way.
Might as well see it on the actual film print. I kind of feel like that adds some specialness to it. So yeah, I tend to go to as many as I can. In fact, I know one coming up at the Siskel Center, they're going to be showing The Wizard of Oz on 35. And I've seen it on 35 already, but that's a movie where literally whenever there's an opportunity to see it in a theater, no matter what the format, I will definitely go. Yeah. But honestly, in thinking about really memorable moments, the one I keep returning to is one that I actually went to many, many years ago, where they showed Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. I went to one of those screenings, and there were people dressed up. And it was just fun to have such a receptive audience to that movie. And the moment I will never forget is when it comes to the very famous Khan screaming moment, whole audience just erupted in applause.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. So yeah, that will always be very special to me. But whenever I get to see older films on the big screen like that, it's really good. I remember seeing Shadow of a Doubt in 35 millimeter. That was really great
nice.
too.
Oh my god,
so great. So yeah, I try to take advantage of those opportunities when I can.
Yeah,
I echo those sentiments with you, Josh, because I did Alamo Drafthouse did a sort of thing in this giant theater that they rented out in Austin, and they, instead of Star Trek, they showed Star Wars. And in Empire Strikes Back, if you all know, like Darth Vader chokes like every like British lieutenant or like, commander, when he's disproving, and he's like chokes him to death. And it's the running gag throughout that entire film, and it's hilarious. And the whole audience just busted up laughing every single time. There's just no better experience than watching that, or when, obviously when Leia kisses Luke, and everyone's always like, everybody in the theater went, wow, like to see it as a communal experience. Because most of the time when you see these films like Wrath of Khan, or you see Star Wars, we've all seen them at home primarily for the first time. So seeing those with an audience that has all those similar feelings or whatnot, before that fandom got really, really toxic over the last couple of years, it was nice to have the nice experience. But Kevin, do you partake up there, or did you partake when you were in undergrad in Austin? Did you go to like the Paramount during their summer series?
Yeah, so I would say there's two of them that I remember quite well. One was when I was in Austin. I think Alamo Drafthouse held like a double screening of Alien and Aliens, and that was a really good one. Where it's fun. It's funny because the original Alien is a pretty quiet movie, but so it's a lot of fun to see just how energetic the audience gets, so like if you were sitting in that theater, it's like the loudest, best experience ever for a movie that's actually pretty quiet from start to finish. The other one was when I came to New York. I went to a theater called the Film Forum Theater, and I saw 8 1/2 for the first time in that theater. and it was incredible. It was like an out of body experience, and like it was one of my introductions to Fellini. I think my first film I've ever seen from Fellini was La Strada, but my first one in the theater is A&a-Half at the Film Forum.
Film Forum is one of the best repertory houses in New York. One of the best repertory houses in the country, frankly. They show things on film regularly. And they're just really the best.
It's really cool. And it's like extra special to me too, because it was one of the first films I saw back in the theater again. It was like in 2020, it was like I was waiting for the opportunity to go back to the theater. So A&a-Half was one of the first ones.
Erik?
So in the Bay Area, we've got the Castro Theater, which is a pretty incredible repertory theater.
Yeah.
At least before the pandemic, and it also had to get bought and saved. So it's not quite what it used to be, but I've seen just dozens and dozens of classics in 70 millimeter and 35 and sing-alongs, Mary Poppins sing-alongs, Wizard of Oz sing-alongs. And every year Peaches Christ does or did her Showgirls reenactment on stage. And so immediately after that is the movie in 35. So I've seen
amazing
Showgirls like 20 times.
Oh.
But they always do great double features like Rosemary's Baby and It's Alive, or North by Northwest and Torn Curtain. They really are so fun and creative with when they do their double features. But yeah, I mean, I've seen 2001, I've seen Wizard of Oz in just its regular non-sing-along version, but I know there's something pretty special about that place and about San Francisco. It is such a fantastic bringing together of the most diverse types of people. I mean, children and drag queens who should be together all the time anyway, because they're a goddamn hilarious combination.
Yep. It's just Erik, chaos in a room is what it is.
Erik, do they do Rocky Horror there?
The Castro doesn't do Rocky Horror, but a lot of places in the Bay Area have and did.
Sure.
I think it had more to do with how messy it can get.
Sure.
Yeah. A smaller theater is usually what would hold that. Yeah. Castro is just too big for that.
Yeah. No,
it'd be a nightmare.
That's an experience. If anyone has not,
if you haven't done that,
going to a midnight screening of Rocky Horror.
If you haven't done that, you haven't seen Rocky Horror.
Amen.
Yep. I think though, Erik, you brought up a good point. It's just like now, post pandemic and everything, a lot of these great art house places that played a lot of classic films, they're struggling to stay open. They're like, what is it, like the Cinerama in Los Angeles, right? They just got that to reopen. And I know, like, what is it that Josh, you were out there in Los Angeles recently. You went out to the Beverly out there, right? And you saw something because Tarantino's bought that place out, right? And runs that. And what did you see there, Josh, again? You saw
I did a Wong Kar-wai double feature, Happy Together, and I forgot what the other one was. I had not seen it before. Something Angels.
Wild. Days of Being Wild.
Yeah, that was the Days of Being Wild.
Okay. God.
Oh man, that's got to be just like a great thing to have, but not a lot of places have that anymore. I know that, like, when I was a kid, my dad took me to what is now like an abandoned mall, and it would show all the old films there too, and that's where I saw Singing in the Rain, and that's where I saw Hard Day's Night. I remember seeing that because, like, when you're a kid, everybody goes through a Beatles phase in your life, and just so to see that on the big screen, and I remember, when I was a little kid, my dad was just like, I know it's in black and white, but like, you'll get over it in like the first 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't know. And then, like, you do, and it's just magic on the screen. And, a lot of those places are closed down right now or struggling to stay open. So I kind of wanted to just say, go out there and support them. Don't just go out there and see Top Gun Maverick 700 times. I mean, it helps my team and Josh's team win the summer movie draft for sure. And we're okay. But at that point, just, I would say also too, because we see it a lot online. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up today is that I always see online everyone talking about movies from like now or like the last 10 years. It's okay to explore outside the comfort zone. That's what's so great about like the Criterion Collection and all these different things. And we're going to do something with the Criterion Collection next week here on the show, sort of tease that out and talk about, that bounty of work that is there. But yeah, just go support small local theaters and classic film is what I have to say.
And it can be really enlightening seeing some of these films, particularly older movies, with a current audience. Mm-hmm. I remember when Metrograph first opened here in 2017, one of their opening week pictures was Vertigo on 35 millimeter, which of course I went to see. But there is a moment, there are several moments in that movie when Jimmy Stewart is going to Kim Novak, please, you have to dye your hair to look like my former lost love. And it can't matter to you. And the whole audience was like,
Vertigo is playing Castro pretty soon. And I mean, all Hitchcock movies, when they play in San Francisco, get so much just rah attention. It's awesome. But I was gonna say, Rand, there's something even more insidious happening with repertory theaters that isn't the pandemic, and that's studios that are not allowing their films to play there. Yeah. And specifically Disney not allowing 20th Century Fox stuff to play. They're that is not how it used to be. It used to be a fantastic relationship between theaters and studios to do this. And it was a celebrated thing rather than, oh, we don't want to do that kind of a thing. It's really awful.
No, I agree. And it's all about it's all about the stupid bullshit things with streaming services now and putting stuff there and prioritizing that over, seeing these restorations. Or, I mean, there's been this long conversation that I've had with you, Erik, and others here about the fact that there are movies in the great directors' filmographies that are missing on actual physical media or rental media or any way, and they're just going to be gone. And, there's Kino Lorber or there's Criterion or there's Arrow or whatever out there, but they can't keep up with the rate of these studios sort of just letting these prints disappear. And I was listening to, I think the Big Picture podcast talk about this one time, how there's movies from Robert Altman, who's one of my favorite directors. And he has 5 to 7 films that you just can't find. And it's sad that we're starting to get into that range of that cinema is going to be lost forever. And only a certain amount of people are going to be able to ever see it. And it just makes me worried about also too, when I think I was Apple or somebody else this week where they got rid of certain people's if you know what I'm talking about, there was something I saw that. Somebody, it was a certain it was on PlayStation and basically if you bought all those films there for digital media, it's gone, you don't own them anymore. That's why I will always say physical media is the way to go. It takes up a lot of space, but it's worth it if you want to keep your favorites. And so it's a giant conversation. Sorry to start it, but it also is too. It's very important, and it's something that we all here are here because of the classics that came before. Well, maybe not Erik, but most of us that came before us. Erik, you were there when you saw the chariot race and Ben-Hur and stuff like that.
Literally, that's what I thought he was going to say too.
I was driving that train.
So, but no, I just it's just something near and dear to my heart. And yes, also too, for the love of God, if you do get a chance to see something like Cabaret or The Godfather this year, because it is their 50th anniversaries, my God, please do it, because those movies, there's there's a little bit of difference between the movie we're about to talk about and those films, is that those movies hold up 50 goddamn years later because they're just beautiful and they're vibrant and they're iconic.
And they were shot on film
and shot on location.
What a concept.
Holy shit, wasn't shot in the back of a Best Buy. You know what I mean? So like, there's all that stuff too.
That's technically on location.
That fair, very fair.
But you pick up the wireless mics there too.
There you go. Hey, want somebody to do the boom, and
that's called good producing, Ryan.
Two birds with one stone, correct, Josh?
This is why Kevin Feige's a genius.
Yeah, you know what? It's just cutting costs left and right. Yeah. With that, we're just going to transition away from classic films over to Thor: Love and Thunder, which is the big movie that came out. What a transition. Indeed. But it is the number one film at the box office. It made $153 million, I believe, at the domestic box office this weekend.
Yeah, I think it hit about 300 worldwide in the opening weekend.
That helps once again, Josh, you and me. But beyond that, I just wanted to kind of get everybody's opinions on the latest Thor film because I saw the film 2 weeks ago. I wrote the review for it up on the website. I actually really liked it. And I was in like a theater of like 10 people. The way Erik likes it to be, because he doesn't like it
should be.
He doesn't like to sit with them. Yes,
unless it's a classic film or a sing along.
Yes, exactly. You would sing along with them? Of it. You would sing along with the normies, as you call them?
Yeah, I went and saw Frozen with dressed up little girls and dressed up.
You weren't. Be honest, you were dressed up too.
I did not do Elsa. No.
Next time.
No, he was Sven, obviously.
Clearly
Olaf. Anyway, but I like the film. I thought it was. I don't know, maybe I'm turning into like a Marvel fan. I don't know, because I've liked their last two films, but I just like that it's not all, for me, connected into this giant Infinity Saga story anymore. I think that they're letting the directors kind of do whatever they want, though it seems this week they have done the Taika and all the crew have done a great job at trying to discredit themselves from any attachment to this movie whatsoever. But I think that's just kind of
Twitter did a pretty good job of that first, and then they caught on real quick. That video of Taika Waititi and Tessa Thompson, like
breaking down the scene. God. Oh my god!
I was like, that's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. That's one way to just market your film. But I think that Portman's return to this franchise was fantastic. I thought she was great. Christian Bale, I thought was fantastic. I thought the humor was hit for me perfectly. The goats, Russell Crowe, things like that for me, it just like carried it over the top. And I don't know if I need to see any more Thor films, but or anyone more from Taika Waititi, but I had a lot of fun with this one, and I just was like, yeah, it's a Marvel movie. What else do you want out of this thing? Josh, I know you were a little bit lesser on it than I was, correct?
Yeah, I hated it.
Okay, there we go. It's the other way. That's what I wanted.
A little bit less.
Yeah.
I did not care for it at all. And I get why people are responding to it, but for me, I just had such a hard time connecting to those characters. And I thought that you kind of needed to do a reintroduction to Natalie Portman's character because it's been so long since we've seen her, and I did not find that was very adequate to me, and it was just painfully unfunny. I did not laugh throughout most of that movie. And when you see that in a crowded theater and your audience is not laughing, that's not a good sign. It's like torture to be involved with that.
Oh, so you're saying that most of the people in your audience were just like, it was dead quiet for the most part?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I will say Russell Crowe was very fun. I loved him. It was the only bit that I really consistently laughed at. And I thought he was having a really good time. I wish we had spent more time in that section of the film, honestly. And so there are a couple things that are fun about it, but for the most part, I was not invested at all.
Did you like Bale or no?
for the like 5 minutes that we saw him, sure.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Dan. Oh well, Dan hasn't seen the film.
I have not seen the film. I unfortunately came down with COVID last week, and it has been
We blame the Minions.
hell. I do. Look, the Minions are blameless.
They
The
are
Minions-
super spreaders, and they must be stopped. All
The
right.
Minions are what
The
they
Minions
want
are
nothing else-
anti-vaxxers for sure.
They probably.
That's right.
No, they're not. And do you know?
So
why
don't go
they're
see
not?
don't go see the film
The
because
Minions
that
are not
supports.
anti-vaxxers. They
you know.
enjoy sticking each other with needles. I will tell you that
Oh,
right
boy.
now. They.
I don't know what to take that either. That's really bad too. Hopefully
the
they're clean.
The Minions are blameless, although it did I saw Minions. I wrote my review for In Session, and then the next morning had a massive fever. So that was not fun.
You had a fever, and the only
It
prescription
was
was
that
more
it was the
Minions.
plague of teen boys in suits.
That's what it was. And I do
They
not
were
know.
carriers.
What a
They
sto-
are all anti-vax.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't know what
No
it means,
question.
but they definitely are.
Kevin, have you seen Thor and Love and Thunder? I kind of want
Yes,
to
I
steer back
have.
to that. What did you think of it?
I thought it was fine. I felt like I'm with Josh in that I felt like most of the humor in this movie was a miss. I saw this on opening day Friday in the Dolby Cinema with a pretty packed crowd. And just like Josh's theater, mine didn't really laugh that much. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times the entire crowd laughed. And I think that is largely because the first half of the movie, I think, is tonally all over the place. And it has a very huge wink, wink, tongue in cheek, not taking itself seriously kind of way, which I get, but it did it so much that I felt like, okay, there are no stakes going on right now. It is completely inconsequential. So I felt I was not into it in the first half at all. And then the second half comes, and I felt like the second half was like a significant improvement. I felt like everything in the second half, I thought, why can't the entire movie be like this? I never really cared that much about the relationship between Thor and Jane, even from the very, very beginning. But the second half of the movie made me care about them for the first time. So that's saying something. Natalie Portman, I thought she's terrific. And Christian Bale was probably the biggest surprise of all the stuff in the film. I felt like he actually showed up and gave a really good performance, and I felt for him, and I loved that climax. I love the emotional payoff. I just really, really wish the first half of the movie would stop being so jokey so that it would establish the emotional beats much sooner so that the second half could really, really pay off. If the first half was emotional and established those things sooner, I think a lot of audience members probably would have cried at the ending of the movie, but it didn't. So at the end of it, I think this is fine. It's not I don't think it's the best Thor, but it's not the worst Thor either. I think in the grand scheme of like the MCU, I think this is like dead center, like right in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit higher, but I also, the takes this week of people being like, this is the worst Thor, and it's like, y'all haven't seen Thor: The Dark World. Like that movie.
There are
that
also
movie
ulterior motives for that.
Oh,
I think
for sure.
Let's be honest.
There's been a lot with this movie this week. It's just kind of been like, this is the one, like this one and Doctor Strange of recency. I sat there and I'm like, these are the ones that you want to die on the hill of. Like, this is when you want to start nitpicking the hell out of Marvel, when like literally the highest grossing movie of last year, Spider-Man No Way Home, has even worse problems in terms of like script and editing and jokes and
but that didn't matter because it gave us the.
But yeah, it's a movie for simpletons. You know what I mean? And like that movie's like all just like we all knew what that movie was going to be the minute we walked into it.
It's better than Doctor Strange.
I just feel like with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and this, and then Phase 4 having Black Widow, it just makes me so sad that the only Marvel movie with a rotten rating right now is Eternals. It's like, it's
that
so
shouldn't.
unfair. It really shouldn't be that.
No, I don't think so. But Erik, you saw this one, right?
You know, it's funny because I liked it a lot when I saw it.
Yeah.
I felt that like my immediate reaction after this was fun. I had a good time, and Russell Crowe and the goats, and I've just kind of loving
Russell Crowe's the goat for you
that I loved.
Oh,
but I disagree with Kevin because the opening of the film is Christian Bale's whole origin story. It's not the humor. And that was a little bit of a surprise that because it's a long sequence of how he becomes, disillusioned. But then when, he meets the god, and the god is basically like Will Ferrell in Zoolander, it's trying to hit that transition of like, okay, sad stuff is done. We're going to get into, humor for 12-year-old boys real quick. Don't worry about it. I didn't mind that so much. I liked Portman too. They really did try to have a little bit too much fun with cancer, I think. I thought
those cancer jokes at the beginning of the movie were
they were not good, and like
not good. Didn't make sense for her character either, and for the tone of the movie, it was not a good step to reintroduce this character.
It was a bit odd.
For me, I just thought she's in complete denial at this point, even though she's been just recently diagnosed. For me, like, she is just trying to keep it all together because she is a person that is on the go, trying not to think about this, trying to come up with it. And for me, I was like, oh, this person is complete denial of what is about to be on her front doorstep. And I'm not saying I relate to that because I've never been in that position, but we've all had many family members that have handled it in various different ways, and people handle it in various different ways. I didn't think it was really jokey. I wasn't laughing a lot in those moments because I just was like, oh, she's
it wasn't funny. Yes.
Well, it wasn't to me. They weren't jokes. It was just, I was like, I think she's in denial, and she's grasping to save her life.
She's a fan of Interstellar, so she's clearly in denial.
Well, she's not.
No,
you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win, Josh, on that one, Josh. And I like that movie.
The real reason,
I know you do. I know you do. But I was like, you know what? Let the cancer win. Nah.
Nah, Jesus, Erik. Oh my God. No, but for me, I know that people have been dogging on the direction a little bit of this movie, and there are parts where I think
the visual effects and
the visual effects
whole like this is a $200 million movie that
and I'm like, this is the one
really gone pretty far.
Well, it's like there are a lot of movies.
There are some moments in really, really bad, and Doctor Strange too. There is something that's happening right now.
Well, that's been true of all Marvel movies. All of their VFX is like shit for how much money they spend on it.
Yes.
Why do we every year
never win Oscars?
I was just going to say, every year we're all like, what? Or somebody always asks us a question in the listener questions when we love you listeners, but it's just true. Someone's going to go, well, why isn't Marvel getting nominated for visual effects? And it's like, well, I mean, you're pointing it out now. It doesn't win. And then also too, like, this is the movie. These are the two movies you want to start getting on. Like, really? Like, you didn't want to say this about Jurassic World Dominion or other ugly look movies, and I think a lot of it also
don't leave the dinosaurs out of this. What did the dinosaurs ever do to you?
Those still look a lot better than the progression of what's happened with Marvel.
I have to say there were some shots in the first half of this movie where I had Jungle Cruise PTSD.
Oh God!
When Christian Bale first meets that god, that looked unfinished. It looked like an unfinished visual effect to me.
But then also too, I think like the battle on, I guess like Gore's lair or hideout place where it's in black and white.
That looked great.
I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And I thought like the final stuff at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Final act. Yeah. The second half, I was like, okay, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, I think people are dogging
it's not the worst. What a compliment.
Well, yes. No, because like there's worse films in this franchise, and I think that people have either gotten fatigue, or I honestly have started and been thinking about this week, is that people have been spoiled by Top Gun Maverick, and now they are seeing other films. And the reality is right now with visual effects houses, and we all know this, is that they are understaffed right now and they are rushing out product. You know, you even look at the television series alone for Marvel, they haven't looked great either. And a lot of
for She-Hulk.
I mean, that looks bad. Like we think, you know, so just from a trailer alone. But I think that for me, I've always gone to these Marvel movies going like, these aren't like the greatest looking things on the planet. It's all about the story for me, the characters, the emotionality, and if they work or not. And for me, I thought that Taika does a good enough job here with this script to really sell
such
home
a good salesman, right?
I think they sell this relationship.
Worst.
No, he's not.
It's good enough. Put that in the trailer.
He's better than John Watts and some of these other, like, and Peyton Reed and all these other people that get massive passes, and yet we're criticizing Taika. You know what I mean? I think he does a good job here.
I think what's happened, though, on top of visual effects houses being stretched to their absolute ends, because that's not new. This has been for decades.
Reminder that visual effects artists do not have a union.
No, they don't. And they're worked, 16 to 18 hour days to finish something. I think COVID and the impact of that, we're seeing that in a lot of these Marvel movies now, and a lot of movies now that are so reliant on those effects, because even though all of these movies use multiple visual effects houses, it feels like there is a missing component of communication that pre-COVID didn't have as much. And I feel like we're now seeing the impact of just how separate all of these people are from each other in trying to create one thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with you on that point. Because it's the truth, and it's what we're living in right now. I mean, there are a lot of films that are still getting delayed because of the fact that they can't finish the post-production stuff on their films. And that's why I've said this. I've been like, we sure about Avatar? Because I'm not joking.
That's been in production for a decade.
I know.
Different.
I know. I kid, but you got, that's why some people have also been like, is Killers of the Flower Moon going to be done too? And which I think it will be, but like,
or Black Panther too.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
Where's that movie?
That movie doesn't exist.
I will believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Truly.
Where is that movie?
Even their poster right now is just the title.
That movie shouldn't exist. They shouldn't be making that.
It's still slated for November,
which is insane.
They've been
this
We'll see
year
about that.
of this year.
Yeah, we're knocking on the door of August.
Well, we're also seeing the problem now of them locking themselves into this release schedule years in advance, and we saw sort of how that affected things when
with COVID
and when WandaVision, and they had to change around a Multiverse of Madness apparently, and when all the release things got shifted, it is not a tenable business model anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like at a certain point they might just have to have maybe one or two films at all come out during the year. And
honestly, that would be better for everyone.
And just have television series fill in the gaps. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because no one's talking about Miss Marvel right now, to be honest with you. And
lots of people are. People love it. It's the highest rated Marvel product that they have.
To me, there was an episode last week and the week before, and nobody talked about it online in terms of chatter. And yet I've watched them, and I think that they're pretty great. They're fun. And I wish more people would talk about that, or the fact that, like, we'll have a question here soon about Marvel and their future.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, I don't know if they're like on the rocks just yet, but we'll see. But does anybody else have anything, criticisms or things they want to highlight about Thor before we move on?
Well, I guess we can't talk about the end credits scene because Dan hasn't seen it, but
Dan, do you
I
care?
was here for it.
I
was here
do
for
not
it.
care about the mid-credit, post-credit bullshit scene. You can talk about it.
Yeah, so it was Brett Goldstein as Hercules with his giant fur titties just like out and close up, and I'm like, I'm in.
It was funny.
I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah.
I do not watch Ted Lasso, so I didn't initially recognize that it was him. But I did very much see that hairy torso. Yes, that immediately when I saw it first.
And Josh
got my attention. Yeah.
And Josh was like,
suddenly,
"Can I have?"
really want to see this movie.
Yeah.
And he has worked out since between seasons of Ted Lasso, so I cannot wait to see season 3 of Ted Lasso.
I mean, Josh was like, you know what? I don't like Thor 4, but I'll take Thor 5 now, please.
That's how you sell a ticket.
I can't wait for the next Thor movie to be rated R because he will be cursing every 5 seconds in that film.
If only.
I don't know how they're going to manage that.
No, because like every interview he does, there's F-bombs out of his mouth, and it's great.
That's
and
awesome.
I love him for it, but it's like you might have put yourself in a box there, Marvel. But no, I thought that was what was the other one? Was there another?
The other one was that Russell Crowe was not dead.
Oh
no, it's the same one. It's the same cutscene. Not cutscene. Sorry, it's the same.
That's what it is, Kevin. That's fine.
Yeah, yes, you're right. But what was the middle one?
It was Valhalla.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yes.
Where Jane goes
right.
up to Valhalla and Heimdall, played by Idris Elba, meets her up there.
Yeah.
Which
So
is like,
completely
right,
kind of
cool.
undermining that whole
Arc.
I know.
You mean basically what Marvel does all the time?
All the time.
No one can be dead, Josh. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nobody is ever dead.
Yeah.
I would say 2 small things. I love how useless the Guardians of the Galaxy are in this movie.
Thank God they only really have that one scene, really.
Yeah. It's kind of how it mirrors Chris Pratt in real life. Yeah.
And and then there's one joke for some reason I just laughed way too hard at. It involves a story that Korg tells of another rock being that Korg meets, and when he says the name of that person, I lost it.
Yeah. The rock story was kind of cute because we've got everything everywhere at the beginning of the year, and then we have this. There's rocks are having a moment this year.
Such a moment.
Somebody needs to bring back Pet Rocks, and I don't know why that did not happen months ago.
Wait, Eric, have you seen the Minions movie?
Yes,
there's a pet rock in it. There's a pet rock in it.
Well,
it
because
plays a
the
big
movie's
part
like,
in it. Yeah,
it's like drenched in 70s nostalgia.
Yes. There's not only is there a pet rock in the Minions movie, the pet rock is like a plot point.
It's an important plot point. Yeah, it's great.
What is this year?
Seriously.
My God, rocks everywhere. Rocks for everyone. That's what Eric's saying. So
yes.
Rocks and googly eyes.
Oh my God. Yeah. The fact that there was a googly eyes shortage this year.
Both, Dan.
That was, that's
Minions did both.
Yeah. Exactly. So, well, that's Thor, Love and Thunder. See it if you want. Most of you probably
see it if you want. Or not.
I mean, you probably will. And then in 2 weeks, everybody will be watching Nope and probably not talking about Thor.
It'll be on Disney Plus in a month or whatever.
Yeah. It'll be on the Plus soon. So.
Honestly, no joke. After I saw Thor the next day, I went back to the theater and I rewatched Top Gun Maverick.
I was gonna just thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm angry.
Me and Josh
that was so
appreciate
fun.
your service.
It was such God damn it, fuck you, Kevin.
I talked to Sophia this weekend.
Movie.
I talked to Sophia this weekend. She did the same thing with her family. They all went and saw it for the second time. And you know what? Thank you all for your service.
Because you know what? Like nowadays in our oversaturated blockbuster market, it's such a rarity to see a blockbuster of this caliber caring this much about story and character and being that sincere about telling it.
And being visually coherent.
Yeah.
And its action scenes. What a concept.
I know. And like I agree with what everyone has said about the aerial footage. It's stunning. But like the thing that I champion the most about Top Gun Maverick is that story.
Yeah. I've been saying it for the last couple of years is that
the thing
most of the time Cruise is doing a good job with his, setting up and producing his action films like Edge of Tomorrow and the Mission Impossible franchise. So I
just want to know what Jennifer Connelly's skin routine is, because holy shit.
Seriously.
Stunning.
Her skin,
those were close-ups, and
her
I'm
hair,
just like, what's a pore?
Her eyes.
The first time I saw her. The first time I saw her on screen, I said out loud in the theater, "Wait, that's illegal."
I was like, "What the fuck? How does she look so good?"
First of all, how dare you? Right? It's like
she's never looked that
never
good.
Looked better.
Just sun-kissed. The hair, everything. Give it to me all.
You know what?
Where's the Penny story?
You know what, everyone? Go see Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
Again. That's what we're saying. Make that and Thor your double feature. It helps us out immensely. Right. Anyway,
please, you will have a much better time at Elvis and Minions.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I mean, although on that note, Elvis is doing pretty well.
So much so that it's not going to HBO Max.
Yeah.
After 45 days.
I feel like Elvis would be an anti-vaxxer too, to be honest, as well.
He definitely is not. He loved Martin Luther King on television.
Didn't you see that in the film?
He is there for the important moments, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
He's another one who just really likes the drugs. He's not.
He's not discriminatory of what he put in his body. Yeah.
He or into other bodies. Yeah. He would vax himself on camera.
Yeah.
And show his draft/vax card. So
yeah. Right there that's true. That would be his holiday special. For sure. Yeah. There you go.
Colonel Tom Parker on the other hand.
No Santa Claus. No snow for you.
No, you will sing Santa Claus.
All right. We're going to get away from all this. We're going to go over to some listener questions. And so the listener question up at the top that I wanted to ask all of you is from Daniel B. And that is, do you think the Marvel content bubble is about to burst with the lukewarm responses that the last two films have had? And being, of course, in an oversaturated market. I mean,
so we're basically just continuing the conversation.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? I don't think that there's any fatigue. I just think it's about quality, because no one's saying, please stop making Marvel film. They just want to make the Marvel stuff that they like. I mean,
that is a lie. Josh and I are saying, please stop making Marvel movies.
I think that
for a while.
I think that we are all saying that. No, we as critics would say that, but normal audiences like that see these films in droves aren't saying like stop. I mean, like shit. Spider-Man was the #1 movie of the year last year. Say what you want about Thor and Doctor Strange. They've made a ton of money already, and they're going to make a ton of money.
Not only was Spider-Man the #1 movie last year, that movie almost made $2 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. On top of that,
in a resurging theater,
right? Exactly.
Market.
Like it came out like right at the time when Omicron was like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this question of, do you think the Marvel content bubble will burst? I think we are past that. I think when we talk about whether or not the Marvel content bubble will burst, I think that threshold point, I think that threshold was somewhere in 2016, 2017. And then because it didn't burst then, I think we're past that now. I don't think it's a bubble anymore. It's just a question of, like you said, Ryan, it's a question of quality. So what I do see happening is if a TV show comes along or if a movie comes along and that one piece of work, the show or the movie, is a disaster, a financial disaster or a critical disaster, and then they move on. They just keep making other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are not, ideas that are running parallel, and the concept of audience demand and studio content used to sort of be like this and going a little bit back and forth, and the audience would sort of be able to tell the studios, here's the kind of things that we're watching and going to watch. And Disney and Marvel changed that course, and now they are dictating all of it, whether it's TV show or movies, with this massive multi-phase plan. It's like, you're going to get all of this, whether you want it or not. And so people start to just sort of, I don't know, like whatever, like They Live, or like some other type of thing where they're consuming because for the sake of consuming. And it's not really going to hit a wall. We have seen everything from COVID to quality not really impacted in that negatively of a way, because they have Disney Plus. They have Hulu. They can do whatever they want to move and shift things around for the financial needs that they have. And that's always going to be the priority. It's not going to be what the audience wants.
Yeah. I think that we could be heading towards a different kind of bubble than I think what we're thinking about right now, which is we are seeing Marvel move more and more towards that Star Wars-ish toxic fan base. We are seeing what happens when people make loving or hating a brand their entire personality, and what happens to discourse and perception of these things when that happens, because the frankly ridiculous criticisms that I've seen against both Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder, but more so towards Thor, the increased focus on female protagonists and the increased presence of LGBTQ identifying people in these movies. And we're seeing it with Ms. Marvel too. Like the backlash that these things are getting, it is small but vocal, and I think that is the bubble that we need to look at bursting. Is when is this going to go full on toxic and completely overtake all the other discussions about this product?
Yeah, but look at how Disney and Marvel just responded to Thor's with that video of
right.
Waititi and Thompson. We know what the response is, and that's what it is now. We're just going to kind of joke and make fun of it. It's like, oh, I didn't even see that when I was editing this movie. It's sort of to Kevin's point about the movie being so tongue in cheek. These movies can be so like kind of sucking their own dick and tongue in cheek like that, because it's a defense mechanism to not be judged in a way that you would maybe judge another type of movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. Josh, you got anything?
I think Marvel is in an interesting place post Endgame, because Endgame was this huge thing that they were building towards, and all audiences had an understanding that you got to see all these movies because it's leading to this big event at the end. Mm-hmm. And they don't have that anymore. And on the one hand, I think it's rather liberating, actually, because you can now walk into these movies without any expectation. And I do appreciate that. But I think from a general audience perspective, after a decade of being told this is leading to something, and now, okay, we got there, now what? I think that means that people are going to be a little bit more discerning in terms of what it is that they're going to watch. I think these movies will still make money, but as we can see, they have pretty big drops now.
Yeah. From
week to week. So I think you're only getting the hardcore audience to really show up for them now.
I think that the thing about them is hardcore fans or comic book fans that I know that I've talked with, they say that they know where this is actually going. They see the path in which Marvel is doing, and they're probably going to announce that path at their Comic-Con panel that's coming up in 2 weeks or whatever, which will lay out exactly, we'll probably have all the questions to make this conversation irrelevant at this point. But
that's where we're going to see Black Panther.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going to see probably footage of Blade. and stuff like that, and have all the cast come up like they normally do. But I think that this was where other announcements for other films, and obviously that they still have to fold in somehow the X-Men now that they own the property, and Fantastic Four and a bunch of other stuff. It's not going away, people. But the fact of the matter is it's all about, for those people that I've talked to, it's about execution rather than, at the end of the day, it's all about execution. How are these stories executing? Even if there is no end game or end goal now with this story, if it is just going to be a continuing saga of episodic, film events or whatever. But the problem is too, and I think you can all agree with me here, there is no Avengers film. Avengers were the big event films. Even something like Civil War, that's like an Avengers 0.5 film, and they haven't had those since Endgame because everybody's doing their own thing. And I agree with you, Josh. I think it's quite liberating that they're doing their own stuff, and I damn well know that they will bring them all back together eventually. It's kind of hard.
Panther did that too. They have done that with almost all of the films since then, to kind of keep the momentum and the idea of all of them together.
Yeah, there has always been crossover in every single Marvel film
all of
since Avengers, basically.
Yes, but now it's to the extent of having the core group is gone besides Thor. You're having more of them sprawl out, and you don't have like an Avengers Infinity War or Endgame where they're all coming together, and this is an event. You're not, this is what it's all led up to, and you guys are right. And they haven't explained that. I think they will. I know that they will have an Avengers movie, because even if it is not the core Avengers that we knew that they used to be, they slap that Avengers on there. Mom and pops will be like, yeah, I haven't seen any of these movies, but I'll see the Avengers because I've seen at least those films. And because like, those are my parents, like they don't see every Marvel film, but they see the Avengers films because those are the big ones. And so I don't know. And then they've got all their damn television too, which is just driving me nuts. Like, I rather them just be television series and just go and do that on Disney Plus and that make all the money there, and them do other things with the theaters. But obviously that's not Disney's plan. Thank you for that question. Next question comes from Ethan. How does the panel feel about A League of Their Own, which turned 30 years old last Friday?
I am so glad you brought up Madonna's best film performance, Ryan.
God damn it.
I am so
editing this out now as we speak.
Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell are a comedy duo for the ages.
She is fantastic in the film. I'm not gonna say anything wrong about Madonna in the movie.
That first shot of her when you see she's kneeling down tying her shoe, she turns up.
I've never seen anybody do that
closed
before.
In the sun, and
it's
the
a
cigarette dangling
moment.
out of her mouth. Absolute star moment.
Yes.
For all the audiences at home, Dan's feeling better.
And 95-year-old May just came out of the closet this week.
Mm-hmm.
The character that Madonna plays.
Well, there you go.
And bless her heart.
Yes.
Great movie.
It is a classic.
I love that movie so much.
One of the best moments in the movie is, and just in comedy in general, is when Tom Hanks throws that glove at the kid. Like it's funny already, but then Tom Hanks just has to go like, I got him.
I love that.
It's great because everybody wanted that. We were just waiting for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an epic moment.
Women.
Well,
and then Ronan voice.
There is also too this year. There's the new television series on Amazon Prime.
I thought that was why Ethan asked the question, not because it turned 30.
Well, I mean, the timing is pretty close.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
I'm watching my screeners for it now, and let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie. No, that's fair. I think the movie is, for me, a top 5 sports movie of all time.
Absolutely.
It's for there are movies like Bull Durham and The Natural that rank up with this as the best baseball. Like baseball movies, just in general, I think make for the most compelling movies, even though like the sport for most people is not the most compelling sport. You have like I said, Bull Durham, The Natural, this. You have
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, Moneyball.
Why is it the baseball movies are so much better than like most other sport movies? Why is
true.
that?
I don't know if you guys watch Patrick H. Willems, the video essayist on YouTube, but he actually had a video where he talked about this and about why baseball, in his opinion, is the best sport to depict in movies. And I think it really comes down to baseball having this internal kind of rules that you can easily follow, and there's drama kind of built within it, and it's easy to follow the conflict. And I think that is maybe the reason why, and you get all these great characters attached to it too. And that certainly helps. And it definitely helps with A League of Their Own. I remember watching that movie even as a kid, like 6 or 7 years old, and thinking, this is awesome. This is so good.
It's an A+ story of women, of sisterhood, of the sport. It's
commercialism.
Funny. It's funny. It has a huge heart. Lori Petty,
she's
so good.
She was almost having a moment in the early 90s, and it didn't really work out for her, which
Tank Girl.
Bad. I love Tank Girl. A+, love Tank Girl.
Okay, a lot of A pluses, a lot of A pluses today. Okay.
No, I think A League of Their Own is a really special movie.
Should have been nominated for Best Picture that year, in my opinion.
Should have been nominated for
anything. The score, the
screenplay, original song.
Yeah,
which was a number one hit by who was it by?
Rhyme.
Oh, that's right, Madonna.
Yes, the first lady of cinema.
That's right.
And then move on to the next question.
God, how much does Ryan hate women? First, not allowing them on a podcast, and now moving on from this movie.
That's not true.
Wow,
you were part of that text thread. Nicole couldn't make it.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're like in the waiting room right now. They're like in chat.
Like,
why will Ryan let us in?
We want to talk about A League of Their Own.
Oh, it's awful.
All right, come over. Calm down. Anyway. Which Josie DeMarco wants to know, which fictional movie restaurant would you want to eat at?
Krusty Krab.
Jack Rabbit Slims.
Jack Rabbit Slims, yeah.
I'm actually surprised there isn't an actual Jack Rabbit Slims that popped up after that movie.
Yeah. I mean, like that, I mean, like the $5 milkshake and like the Royale with cheese, that's sort of like a staple of now of like Alamo Draft House, sort of leaning into that. But like I agree with you, Josh, like that not being a thing is I want to say a weird one, but the bakery that Meryl Streep owns in It's Complicated, if you actually like watch
Nancy Meyers,
Meyers just in general, like my God, or like when she's cooking for them, like the at the house, and she just pulls out this like all this food that she was going to make for Baldwin the night before, and it's like this whole chicken and all this other stuff. I was like, that movie is
when you have a white people kitchen like a Nancy Meyers kitchen, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, like you wouldn't want that fucking kitchen, Erik.
Of
Shut
course
up.
I would want that.
Everybody wants that white
wants that kitchen.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's where the budget for those fucking movies go to, is that goddamn kitchen.
Yeah, those movie budgets are like $85 million.
Yeah, and 75 to 85 million of that is the kitchen. Like everyone else is working pro bono. You know what I mean?
I'm here for that.
God, could you imagine if she got like a $200 million budget? What that fucking kitchen would look like? Have like levels to it.
God.
Well, it would have like a butler's quarter too. So yeah.
God. Yeah, no, it's true.
I also want to try the food truck that Jon Favreau runs in the movie Chef.
Ooh,
fair.
I think my
face
my joke answer is La Hollandaise from The Cook, the thief, his wife, and her lover, because I would love to go to that restaurant. But like a real answer besides like Big Night, would be like Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, or Hero Dreams of Sushi, probably more than anything. That movie made me cry because I wanted to go there. So
you want to talk about it?
Nope.
You want to talk about it?
I don't. I'm not gonna.
Wait, you what? You cried? You want to talk about it?
You shut up. I just watched Luca again the other night. So.
Oh my fucking God! Surprised we didn't get like a. Luca.
God, Ryan is so hateful today. I mean,
so petty.
It's just like it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of things I'm petty about, Kinsey wants to know she has two questions. She says, one, how do I get Ryan to turn around on Elvis?
A lobotomy.
I was going to say a Clockwork Orange. That is the only situation. We need to just force him to sit down.
Yes.
Open their eyes at the things.
Yeah, I will say for me, I will not turn around on Elvis. I will turn around for
Austin Butler. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Josh has the right take.
Yes.
I see what you did there, Josh.
I clocked it.
Josh,
too,
I
Eric.
agree. Josh, I agree. Her second question, though, is if you could have a documentary / docuseries made on the making of a movie, which movie would you choose? Oh, this
Not
is
The Godfather.
Yeah, I'm tired of that.
Not
No.
The Godfather.
No.
I honestly, and we're probably kind of going to get a little bit of this with the new Light and Magic series on Disney Plus, but Star Wars, A New Hope.
I'm looking forward to that actually.
Yeah.
As a show.
Yeah, but like the amount of like crazy work they had to do and like shooting in the desert and the sets that they had to build there and the they had to invent visual effects.
Yeah, they had to save that movie from George Lucas.
Yeah, and all the work that Ben Burt did with the sound is I would love to see all that. Yeah.
Alien 3.
That's on my list.
Ooh.
Yep.
I want to see Fincher
that's a good
sit
one.
down and talk about that fucking movie.
Yeah, well,
Now.
that's the thing, because I would actually say that when they did that Alien quadrilogy set
Yes.
years ago, there is an extended making of featurette of Alien 3 on there that is one of the most informative and insightful featurettes I've ever seen, especially produced by a studio, because people do not hold back.
They don't do that anymore.
And it's actually kind of disappointing that Fincher didn't participate, because I think they would have let him say whatever he wanted.
He would have gone off, Josh. There's no question about it. The man's not shy about saying his feelings.
About that movie particularly.
Yeah.
And his commentaries on his commentary tracks for his films are always so great.
So funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that's on my list. The Lighthouse is also
a
movie that I would love to see some goings on there. And obviously everybody should read Kyle Buchanan's book on Mad Max Fury Road.
Yep, that was on my list.
That's as good as you're gonna get on that, but I would love to see like a 6-hour docuseries or more on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like classic movies I think would be interesting to look at, because obviously the method of making movies now versus decades ago is so wildly different, and the production they usually can be very notoriously troubled. And one that I was actually thinking about that I've thought about for a while is the 1925 Phantom of the Opera. If you look into the history of the making of that movie, it is wild. Like another one, multiple directors, and they went over budget and the clashing of personalities. And I think that there is so much interesting material for the making of that movie, particularly, that I would be so fascinated to get a real deep dive into that history.
I would also love one on the 1954 Star is Born.
Yeah.
They, with everything that happened with that, with all the cuts after the premiere and everything, plus the drama with Judy. I mean, greatest performance by anyone in anything ever.
Just don't give it to Ryan Murphy. He'll ruin it. He'll kill it.
No, I think that's the general rule for all of these: is no Ryan Murphy.
No Ryan Murphy. I don't want to see none of that shit.
Yeah, I don't want a feud like of these things. I want I want a documentary series.
I do want like another. I do want another series of Feud, because I did like that series. I thought that was good.
Sure.
It was like the only good thing that he's, I think, done over like the last 15 years or something. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
It could also be fun to have a docuseries on just 1939. I mean, Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Just you can focus on just those two movies.
Yeah.
But there are also so many other great movies that year that were part of that story.
Yeah, it's almost like that they should do like a series about like important shots in cinema and instead not include the trial of Chicago 7, and stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? That is not what I said at all. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I want documentaries that talk about a specific year in film.
Yeah.
Like I want a documentary on 1999. For
Yes, the year that changed movies. Yes, that'd be good.
Yeah.
39 and 99.
Yep, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Last question, Matthew St. Clair. Because Taron Egerton, oh my God. All right. Because Taron Egerton said he had a meeting with Kevin Feige in an interview recently, which MCU superhero do you think he should be cast as and join the MCU? Well, first of all,
None, but
if you
Johnny
want to
Storm.
go and hang on, if you want to go and hear an interview with Taron Egerton, you should go to the website because Tyler Doster did an interview with Taron Egerton for his new television show on Apple Plus. So you should go check that out. Now we can answer this question.
And if
Dan,
you want to see a really good GIF, you can go to my Twitter because it really
Thank
kinda
you
blew
for
up.
that, Eric.
Yeah.
Thank
Holy-
you.
doing the Lord's work.
I
as
just
Eric's doing.
started that show yesterday, and all of like the first half of the first episode is him like that.
I
So-
appreciate a crew that knows what side their bread is buttered on.
My goodness.
So I know there are rumors that Taron Egerton is going to be the new Wolverine, which
That'll get,
if
that'll
that
get-
is if that is true, I'm totally okay with doing. But I think that actually would underuse Taron Egerton's sensibilities if you have seen him ever do Kingsman or Rocketman, especially. So me personally, I would want Taron Egerton to be the Human Torch.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Johnny Storm all the way.
I mean, I can literally see Taron Egerton say "Flame on" in my head.
I can too. But
Exhibit right back to Eric's
Yeah.
timeline.
I knew that. I knew it was.
Knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it. Yeah, I don't care. He'll get a check and keep making movies or whatever. And I'm
it's funny because when the rumors were kind of happening about that, and then the show came out and you saw his physique in that,
Yeah, you're
everybody
like-
was like, okay, he's got like a literal 8-pack. It's
Well-
8. It's
well,
not even, it is 8.
he
And
did
his
work.
chest is like,
It's huge.
he's not.
I mean,
a
look,
super
he's
tall
close
guy.
friends with Hugh Jackman.
That
the man
too.
knows how to work out, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
All right.
note, close friends.
Close friends. Yes.
Daniel.
Dan
What?
Bear.
They are.
Daniel, what
Yeah.
you
They were in a movie
implying?
together. You know what I mean? All that
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
And like find someone who looks at you the way they looked at each other during that press tour. I mean,
I watch clips and gifs of that press tour all the
All the
time.
all the time.
All
All the
right.
time.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out in 2 weeks when he's announced at Kevin Feige's
That's
extravaganza.
Exactly right.
So yeah, because you have a meeting with Feige, you're just going to end up in one of these movies eventually. So, all right, we are done with listener questions. Thank you guys so much for doing that. But now it is time to play a brand new game. All right. So the game is called How to Name a Franchise and Get Away with It. So there are a lot of franchises out in the world. Okay. So I am going to give you the like ellipses or subtitle of the franchise. For example, I will give you Maverick and you will answer back Top Gun.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
There are a lot of these. It will start off very easy and then it will get extremely hard.
Oh God.
And we're just like doing our like buzz.
Nope. It will be one at a time and it'll be
okay.
No.
elimination style.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Now Eric's ears perked up. All right. So we will go Dan, Kevin, Josh, and then old people last. So Eric. All right. Are y'all ready?
No, but okay.
All right. Are y'all? No, seriously. Y'all ready?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
I want enthusiasm, damn it. I demand it.
I don't have the energy.
Took me
for that,
15
I'm
minutes to do this
sorry.
to do this game. All right. Dan,
Yes.
A New Hope.
Star Wars.
Kevin, Civil War.
Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, yes, correct. Like there's any other one. All right. He's getting specific and I like it. You're gonna need that.
You'd be like, which one? Which one?
That's fair.
Mamma Mia 2. What's the full title, Kevin?
That is fair. It's not on the list though. All right. Josh, Wrath of Khan.
Star Trek.
All right. Erik, Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
That's correct. Dan, The Dark World.
Thor.
Okay. Kevin, Sunrise.
The Before trilogy?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is
no, that does not count.
Oh, shut up. Or I'll give you the hard ones now.
No, there's no hyphen. There's no colon. No,
I
absolutely
make it up as
not.
It's my game, damn it.
Boo to Ryan.
Boo.
At least.
All right, Eric's getting the hard ones from here on out. All right. Josh, Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic World.
That is correct. He said it correctly. Erik, Chapter 3, Parabellum. Please don't tell me you get eliminated right now.
I probably will be. Is that? I don't fucking remember. Oh my god.
Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Is that John Wick?
That is John Wick. That is correct.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
Dan,
Yes.
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Indiana Jones, baby.
Kevin, Dream Warriors.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street.
That is correct. Josh, The Two Towers.
The Lord of the Rings.
That's correct. He said the Lord of the Rings too, which is good. That's fair. Erik, 2049.
Blade Runner.
Yep. Also your expiration date. Dan, Endgame.
Avengers.
Correct. Kevin, Fallout.
Mission Impossible.
That is correct. Josh, Fury Road.
Mad Max.
That is correct. Erik, The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Harry Potter.
Dan, Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. Oh, Terminator.
Okay. Kevin, Supremacy.
The Bourne series.
Yes, that is correct.
Boo, Ryan.
I'll give you another one here in a second. Josh, Revolutions.
The Matrix.
That is correct. Erik, Take Manhattan.
Muppets.
That is correct.
I almost said Jason, but don't.
You could have. That would be takes singular.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hang on one second. All right. Who is it? It's Dan,
It's
right?
Dan.
It's Dan.
Dan,
Dan.
you're supposed to get hard at some point.
That's what he said.
All right. Now let's go. Let's go. All right. I got a long list and we'll keep it going. Legacy.
Tron?
That is correct.
It could have also been Bourne.
It could have been, but it wasn't.
I figured not because you already used that.
Yeah, I changed it at the last second.
You know, the hardest thing that Ryan can say right now is resurrection. It'd be like 10 different franchises.
All right. Kevin,
No,
When Nature
God.
Calls.
Oh, that's Ace Ventura.
Wow.
Right?
Josh, The Golden Circle.
Kingsman.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Erik, The Legend Continues.
Ooh.
You're lucky I didn't give you that, Dan.
No,
Dan looked like he got it.
Yeah, it took me a while, but I got it.
Dan's obviously.
Dan
Yeah,
got
I think
it.
I know it too.
Ooh, I don't know, but that horrible owl movie, the Guardians. Of the
No, it's
Galaxy,
not
is like
that.
the thing that like made me think of. I'm gonna tap out.
All right. Eric's out. So you can just sit back and relax, sweetheart. All right. Dan, same one to you. The legend continues.
That would be Anchorman.
That is correct.
Holy shit!
So Erik was outdone by Adam McKay. Just want that on the record.
That seems appropriate.
Yeah, seems appropriate.
Mhm.
Kevin, A Game of Shadows.
Sherlock Holmes.
That is correct. Josh, The Battle of the Five Armies.
The Hobbit.
That is correct.
Battle of the Five Armies?
It's not five armies, by the way, if you ever watch that film. Let's just be
Well,
clear.
nobody has seen it, so
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
that's not true. Kevin and I have seen it. It doesn't exist. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying, Josh? Okay.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
Escape from Guantanamo Bay.
What?
Oh,
What?
Escape from
Uh,
Guantanamo Bay.
I know what this is.
Oh,
Escape
Yeah.
from Guam.
I thought they were I thought they were easy, Dan.
I'm fine. I'm glad they finally got hard, but
hmm That's the point of the
The
game.
Indian
Oh!
was just flying hard.
And other
Hard
things that
behind
Megan
the-
says
Oh,
every
yes.
day.
it's
Shut up.
It's like when
How
Ryan
dare
says
you.
sunrise. It's like it's part of the whole title.
oh, okay.
It's one of
Harold
Ryan's
and
bullshit.
Kumar.
That's correct.
Boo, Ryan.
Kevin, New Moon.
Twilight.
That's so easy.
That's the name of the book.
Wow.
I hate you.
Josh, The Edge of Reason.
Is that Bridget Jones?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dan, The Last Key.
Insidious.
That is correct.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Nice.
Nice,
Very nice.
I would not
Kevin?
have gotten that.
Kevin, The New Blood.
Oh, The New Blood.
Yes.
Why does that sound like a Piranha movie? Piranha 2, The New Blood. No, oh. I might have to tap out.
5,
Yeah,
4,
I'm
3.
tapping out.
All right. Kevin is out. He's down to Josh
Oh,
and Dan. Josh, The New Blood.
Man, this sounds so familiar.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, God. And probably as soon
I
as
tapped out already.
Dan, you better not be looking it up.
I'm not looking.
Okay.
I tapped out already.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I don't think that this is it, but it's the only thing I can think of. So I'm just going to throw it out and be wrong. Is it The Lost Boys?
That is incorrect.
No. Okay.
All right.
Was that
So
a franchise?
that was not a
There-
friend.
No.
Is there? Is there multiple? Okay.
Yeah.
I
They're
didn't- I-
DTV.
Okay. Yeah. I tried to steer away from ones that went direct to TV, but somewhere. Dan, for the win, The New Blood.
The only thing that I can think of is that it's Friday the 13th.
That is correct.
That is it.
Holy shit!
And Dan wins. Would you
Which one was that?
number 7?
Seven?
Oh, it was seven.
Number
Oh,
7.
okay.
Yeah.
Because remember, A New Beginning is 5.
Would
I
you
don't
guys
watch
like?
seven a lot.
Would you guys
I
like?
was
to
like,
do,
it's either Nightmare on Elm Street or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Friday the 13th.
You could have done just a horror
franchise, but
horror version of this, and we still could have been going.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I have more if you guys want to just do them all together.
No.
Just as fun. Oh, shut
No,
up,
save
Erik.
them for a future episode.
So
Yeah.
no, well, I feel like this will just be a one-off game, to be honest with you.
Well, give us
Erik.
what you would think is like.
Yeah,
One of
what's
the
the
Oh,
hardest?
another hard one?
Yeah, the hard.
and that'll
yeah.
be like the free for all, and just see.
Yeah,
Okay.
free for all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Back
just do the
to-
hard ones. Yeah.
Back to perfection.
Oh, that is Tremors.
That is correct.
Yes.
Oh,
wow.
Tremors 3, Back to
Wow.
Perfection.
Wow, because that's
Yeah.
the name of this place.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See, this is fun doing it as a group. We'll do
Yeah,
a couple
see,
more.
Josh is so good at all of these.
All right.
It's too bad he'll not ever be on a future podcast. It's so sad.
All right. How about the streets?
Step up.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is correct. Step up
Yeah.
to
Step
the
up
streets.
to-
Step
the
up
street.
to the number
Zero
two,
to
the street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Judgment Day was Terminator 2.
No, it's step up
Isn't
to
it?
the streets.
No, it's not. There is no dot dot. It's
I don't
step
know.
up
It's a dot
to
dot.
the streets. It's a whole
Look it
phrase.
up.
Step up.
I think
to
it's the whole thing.
streets.
The sequel.
I know the second one, but I don't know the sequel.
There are lots of movies that are just
Yeah.
the
Didn't
sequel.
It's
Scary
literally
Movie do
called
that?
Yeah.
It's the sequel. No, a scary movie didn't do that. They just did
Oh.
numbers.
No, it's like
It's Airplane.
Airplane.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Airplane
Like,
the sequel. Yeah.
Airplane, the sequel. Yeah.
The next day.
What a shit.
oh, oh, it's oh fuck! It's from the 80s.
Yep.
Ah,
I should know this.
The next day.
not animal Porky's.
That is correct.
Yeah. Oh God, Porky's. Wow.
I've never seen Porky's.
Sorority
Never-
Rising.
You don't need to.
Oh, sorority
Neighbors.
Rising.
That is
Yes,
correct.
that's it.
Mm.
That is Neighbors. Yeah.
That is correct. All right. All the Time in the World.
Oh.
Hmm.
This is a recent one.
Yeah. Oh
All
my
the time in
God.
the world, because this is the title of a movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. Oh, it's Spy Kids.
yep. Spy
Okay.
Kids ... all the time in the world.
Oh,
It's the Jessica Alba one.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
thinking of something different when you said all the time in the world.
but by
and I think
dot
you know what I
dot, do you
right?
mean
Yes.
colon?
Yeah.
Ellipses
yeah.
and colons are not the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what a colon is, Ryan?
Yes. You're so mean. You guys are
That's
so
what Erik
mean.
has
I'm-
to get cleaned every year. But besides that,
That thing
And
is
that's what
cleaned out
they-
more than once a year.
and that's what, yeah, when he got the
Thank
cleaning, that's
you.
when they did the cleaning, that's what they threw in on top of his head.
Come on.
Complimentary.
yeah,
Anyway.
they found Thor the Dark or Thor 4 in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Evolution.
Underworld.
That's correct.
yeah.
The Beginning.
That's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Back in Business.
Looney Tunes.
Nope.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, no, that's Back in Action. Sorry.
No, it's
That barbershop.
That is correct.
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
International.
Men in Black.
Men
That
in
is
Black.
correct. Summer Vacation.
I literally forgot that movie
National-
existed until a day ago.
Summer Vacation.
Oh, National Lampoon, right?
Nope.
No, it's actually the Hotel Transylvania movie.
That is
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
Hotel
yeah.
Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation.
3. Yeah, okay.
State of the Union.
Triple X.
Yeah,
Yep,
Triple X.
damn right.
Oh, wow.
Who could forget that, right?
Dan's good at this.
The Revenge.
Jaws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
The greatest Michael Caine anecdote ever, where he said somebody
That
asked
got him.
him-
That got him the house.
Yeah.
That got him the
somebody
house.
asked him if he had ever seen that movie, and he said, "No, I haven't seen it, but I have seen the house that it bought me." Yes.
The Devil Made Me Do It.
Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yep. The New Batch.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Erik got one. Day of the Dead.
That's the subtitle. Okay.
Isn't Dawn of the Dead Day of the Dead?
Nope.
Isn't that
That's
the
not.
same?
No. Not that one. Nope.
Oh. Hmm.
This
Day
is-
of the Dead, right?
Yep.
Of the Dead. Wow.
Right?
Are you
No,
okay, Dan? Has COVID grabbed
Just
you?
and just like everyone here, that was the last we heard of Dan Bayer because he had a stroke on this podcast. Holy shit!
Oh God, isn't it Candyman?
It is Candyman. That is correct.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That
Season
was
of
a
the
whole
Witch.
lot for Candyman. Wow.
Season of the Witch.
Halloween.
Children of the Corn.
Yeah, Halloween.
Halloween.
No,
Oh,
Halloween.
Halloween, yeah. That's right. Oops.
The next chapter.
See, we could just do horror.
Oh. Yeah. The
Never Ending
next
Story?
That is correct.
Oh, nice. Jeez.
The Death Cure.
Oh, that sounds
Oh, isn't that-
familiar.
What'd you say,
Wait.
Josh?
No, I just said it sounded familiar.
Oh, okay. Okay. The Death Cure.
No.
Oh,
Isn't
wait,
it like the
Death
Lazarus
Cure.
effect or something?
That's Maze Runner 3.
That is correct.
Oh.
Maze Runner. Yeah, Scorched
Oh my
Trials
God.
and Death Cure.
The Quickening. The Quickening.
Oh, Highlander.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Josh
yeah,
was
yeah.
way too quick with that one. Assignment Miami Beach.
What?
Assignment Miami Beach.
That sounds like a movie title on its own.
Yeah.
Half of these do.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it like? What, the Frankie Muniz teenage spy movie?
Unfortunately,
Cody
no,
Banks.
it is
Yeah.
not Agent Cody Banks, though. That would be a great title for that franchise.
Were there multiple Reno 911 movies?
Maybe, but
No,
it's not
no.
that.
No.
It's some.
But
it's
you're
some cop
thinking,
movie.
but you're in the ballpark of
Yeah,
that,
it
Josh.
sounded like that.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
cop movie or something.
It is the 5th film in this franchise. That'll help you out. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Police Academy.
Like, yeah, I was
That
gonna
is
say
correct.
Costume Police
Josh is
Academy.
correct.
Only like cop franchise that was comedy
Yeah.
that would be going on for that long.
7th
Yeah.
inning fetch.
What?
Is that Air Bud?
Yeah, it
That
has
is,
to be
talk
Air
about
Bud,
baseball
yeah.
movies. That's Air Bud's baseball
Yeah,
movie.
Air Bud.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Red, White, and Blonde.
Legally
Legally
Blonde.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Armed and Fabulous.
Miscongeniality.
Miscongeniality.
The Squeakquel.
Alvin and the
Alvin and the
Chipmunks.
Alvin and
Chipmunks.
Chipmunks.
Chickmunks, also what they found. Never mind. Eric's ass. Anyway, Cruise Control.
Speed.
The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Mummy.
Mummy.
That is
The
correct.
Terrible movie, by the way.
Terrible.
Bad movie.
Shocking. This is what
Bad
shocking
movie.
information.
The Last Stand.
X-Men.
X-Men.
That is correct. Even though that was only the 3rd film and lied because it was not the last stand of that franchise. The
Well,
second part.
Endgame lied too.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The second part.
Lego movie.
That is
Yeah,
correct. Lego
movie.
the Lego movie 2, the second part.
The second part.
I love it. I
Full
love it.
throttle. Say it, everyone.
Charlie's Angels,
Charlie's
baby.
Angels. Best opening. Oh my god, that movie.
Oh my God, so
Those 2 movies are great. I love them.
Unbelievable
They are.
rewatchability.
yes.
The Revenge of Kitty Galore.
Oh, that's Cats,
Oh,
and,
Cats
Dogs.
and Dogs.
That is correct.
Mm.
Resurgence.
Independence Day.
That is correct.
Oh.
What a shit film.
Yeah, not good.
The
And I
other
was trying to
side.
like that movie, but no.
The other side.
Poltergeist.
That is correct.
Oh my god.
Resurrection.
I'm going with Alien.
Alien.
That is correct
Yeah.
because if you did Resurrections, you
That'd
get
be
the
the
Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
Which, by the way, Alien
Shut
Resurrection.
up.
People should be watching that movie more often. It is a fan-fucking-tastic movie.
Which one?
Jean-Pierre Jeunet, baby.
Alien Resurrection?
Yeah,
No.
it is great. I love
Alien.
that movie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Josh,
No,
Josh,
it's
Josh,
great.
I love you, but I can't go that
No,
far.
no, it's better. It's better than
No,
you
I
remember
can
it. It's
I
so good.
cannot
Hey,
have
if we
a
have
re-
had a critical reevaluation of Alien 3, I think we can have one on
It
Alien
is
Resurrection.
better than Alien 3.
I like
Yeah.
Alien 3.
It is
And
better than
also,
Alien 3,
for
though.
everyone out there, I have rewatched Aliens and I did bump it up. And it's a 4 out of 5 now for me. So I do like that movie now. So
Still a
welcome,
point too low, but we'll
Yeah.
accept
oh my God, just
For
take
real.
what you can get, Daniel.
I said we'll accept it.
Wow. God.
the Golden Army.
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Obviously Tokyo Drift is
Fast
and
and
Furious.
Furious.
Yeah.
From the Files of Police Squad.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Naked
Yeah.
Gun. The last one we should end on. This is actually the one we should totally end on, and that is Back to the Hood.
Leprechaun.
There you go. There you go. So that's
That is also the only way that you should say that, with the little
Yeah.
laugh before.
so that was how to name a franchise and get away with it, everyone. So I hope you guys enjoyed that out there. Erik Anderson, can you tell everyone where they can find you on the internet?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at awards_watch, Instagram at AwardsWatch, and then of course awardswatch.com. And yes, Emmy nominations will be out tomorrow if you're listening to this on Monday, and
Correct.
so much will happen after that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun with the Emmy stuff. We're in the thick of it, and then before you know it, it'll be fall movie season, and we'll all be at film festivals and not getting
And
any
this will
sleep.
become an Oscar podcast. go figure.
Go figure. We'll be an Oscar podcast for like the rest of the year at a certain point. But anyway,
Mhm.
Josh Parham, where can we find you and all your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at JR Parham, and you can also find a lot of my work over on Next Best Picture.
Kevin Lee, where can we find you on the internet, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at KLEE_film review, and you can find my work at Film Inquiry, That Shelf, and Awards Watch.
And the winner of today's game, Mr. Dan Bayer, who is feeling better, and thank God you are, my friend.
Yeah.
Can
Amen.
you tell everyone where they can find you on the internet?
You can find me back on Twitter at Dance and Dan on Film. You can find my writing, of course, at Awards Watch and at Next Best Picture.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Ryan McQuade 77. You can just find me here at Awards Watch or in Session Film or other places in the world. We will have maybe an Emmy review recap for the nominations, a reaction episode, maybe. I don't know. It just depends. If not, then we'll talk about them next week, definitely on the show. And then just for a tease out there, everyone, we will be doing our top 5 favorite films within the Criterion Collection next week. So stay tuned for that. And we will see you all next time.